Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Besties Night In. I'm your co host, Zala.
And
And
I'm Nadine.
on this episode, we are going to be talking about the 2 weeks that we were gone, about the drama that happened in the media and TikTok and our lives, maybe. But yeah, get some popcorn and stay tuned for all the tea and gossip that you're getting from your besties.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know we were doing 2 weeks, so I just have, just random things from this week.
That's okay. I think that a lot of stuff has happened this week and the last week. So I'm sure it's like a follow up of the two past weeks. It doesn't
Yeah.
necessarily have to be last week's either. But yeah, before we get started, how was your vacation time?
Oh my god, it was amazing. Honestly, 10 out of 10, I cannot wait for my next trip. I don't wanna really talk too much into it because I can just talk about this trip for so long. I loved it. It was such a nice break from reality, but then it kinda sucks because then, now coming back to reality, I miss that even more because it's kind of just like I think what made it was amazing, but it was just better, just a pause from life and just,
Yeah.
adult stuff, and so
Yeah.
that was the best part, so I think, I missed that so much, but, I got a little break, and now I'm back in the real world, back working. This is my first full week of work because the week that I started, it was the week of 4th of July, so we were off one day, and then I worked one day the next week, worked one day the next week because my flight got delayed. And now this is my first full week of work, so I really got back into, fully adulting. So, yeah, but I had a blast. Honestly, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to go back.
Yeah, and for the audience that follows along, that's why we took a pause on last week's episode because Nadine just wanted to have a social break, and I fully am in agreement with her because life is tough right now. Everybody's struggling, everybody needs a vacation. So
Yeah,
we just decided to pause on last week's episode, and so that's why we're resuming with your favorite, your
and
your
honestly,
drama.
I love you guys. I love you all, but I did not wanna have to bring my laptop and my mic and stuff, especially because I would only use it just to record, and I feel like that would've been such a waste of space, in my opinion. Because I overpack, but I hate just, having unnecessary things, you know?
Yeah. No, totally. And I think that you were smart to do that because obviously there's no reason for you to be recording when you're on vacation or vacation leave time. But yeah, I'm glad you're back and we can resume our podcast episodes. All right.
Ooh, ooh.
So, a lot has happened this week. I'm pretty sure you've been following. So I don't know what you want to talk about first, but I just want to see if your feed matches mine. So
I
tell me
know for
what.
a fact mine doesn't because I wanted to make mine specific to what I knew you wouldn't have. Because I already know some things that you're gonna talk about, so I was like, "I don't wanna talk about that because I know she's gonna
Okay.
talk about it."
Okay.
Um, I will start off with some TikTok drama that I actually don't know if you would have this or not, but
Hmm.
there's family these family vloggers.
What
Yeah,
is the name?
Kay and Tay.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
know.
I kn Yeah, so I nothing else on here I believe is TikTok related. I think that's the only thing that's TikTok related, but if you guys don't know who Kay and Tay are, I've seen a few of their videos pop up on my For You page, but obviously I'm not a family, so I don't follow them.
Yeah.
They're not I'm not their target audience, but they have over 10 million followers and they promote happy healthy relationships. The videos that I have seen, it's so cringy cute, you know? It's, so cute that it's so, you know? And it came out that in 2019, Tay got arrested for domestic violence against Kay. And that's, what, 5 years ago? Is that 5 years ago?
Yes, I believe so. 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah,
And a
6
lot
years
of
ago.
Yeah, so a lot of people were just like, "How do you come back from" domestic, abuse and stuff, and we don't know what happened, we don't know their relationship, but I just think a lot of people are just like, "How could you promote this lifestyle?" And it kinda isn't really that behind closed doors because now people are gonna, assume that what you post
Yeah.
isn't real, which also, into their defense, how many family YouTubers, TikTokers, all this stuff are really what they show? Like, come on now, there are so many that come out to be, like, just an act, so we know this, but also, I feel like if they would have been more transparent, they would have also had a bigger audience. Because if they would have been like, "This is what we went through, this is how we, like, overcame it,
Overcame.
and now this is our relationship." Because we don't know, they could have this amazing relationship now, but it is hard to, like, see this come out, and in the mugshot, he was smiling.
Yeah, and I'm so glad you started on this because I do have another story that touches upon how under the spotlight of media that people create this narrative on social media. There's a lot of stuff that is wrong with a lot of people, and I will give you my opinion later, but yeah, and obviously that's really really sad for her. I when I read that news, I was like, "Damn, that's terrible to happen to someone." Obviously, nobody wishes that upon anybody.
Yeah.
And also, a lot of the comments I read a lot of the comments, and they were talking about how they felt super bad for her because she had this whole, like, media, lifestyle that people thought, "Oh, she's so loved. She's in a healthy relationship," but behind closed doors, she was getting abused, which is super,
And
super
let's just say
sad.
that it's like, it stopped, like, let's just say it happened and it stopped. I
Yeah.
feel bad that now she kinda has to relive it because now it came back out,
Yeah.
and I feel like people act like influencers and celebrities owe them the world. They don't owe you guys. I'm sorry to say
Yeah.
this, they don't owe you and I'm sure one of the reasons why they didn't I understand people are just like, they should have been more transparent,
Yeah.
but it's also like, who wants to relive that, you know? Like, I'm sure it was hard for her, especially to, like, forgive him and still be with him and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's just like, I think it's kind of like, I feel bad that she went through it and now she has to relive it so many years later because it could be 20 years. That pain never goes away, especially when it's, like,
Yeah.
thrown back in your face. So I feel really
And
bad for her.
yeah, and I in that sense, I also you did bring a very good point, but I feel like the main reason why people are concerned is because abusers, once you're an abuser, that doesn't really go away in a couple of years unless he got therapy or a lot of help and wanted to change. Um, I mean, we don't really know like exactly how this came out, what their lifestyle is like, but I do feel very bad for her that she still had to go through that. That is very traumatic, and to
Yes.
get arrested for domestic abuse is another thing. It's like it has been going on for a while, and she had to call. I'm not smiling because I find it funny. I'm smiling because it's such a like um it's like a odd experience that we live through this every day. Like, we don't know what these influencers or these people who like try to, what is that word? What's the P word? Project?
Project
Whatever. Yeah,
persona, project.
project. Yeah, their persona online is completely different than what they're living through in their own specific lives. So it's such a odd phenomenon to me. And and clearly, if you explain this to somebody a century ago, they would be like, "What the hell?" Like, you're watching people live a different life than what they actually live. So I'm just saying that it's crazy for somebody. Domestic abuse usually it goes on for a while before somebody files a claim or somebody actually decides to get help. So it is very, very sad. It must have been a
Yeah.
very, very tragic accident.
And it's
So,
so easy for people to be like, "If it was me, I would have fought back." No, you wouldn't. It's
no,
scary. It's
the
really scary to
cycle
be in that.
is scary. Yeah, the
And you
cycle
don't
of,
see it coming, like, there's little signs that you don't notice until it happens.
yeah, until somebody else, until your friends are like, "Ah, I think you're weird." And then the abuse starts to be too much on you and you start cutting people off. It's either you get help or you start cutting people off.
Yeah.
So I do feel really bad for her, but I also feel she doesn't owe anybody anything, but it is extremely sad. I don't care about her trying to tell us that she doesn't live a happy life. I care more about somebody's well being. Like, that's very, very
Yeah.
sad. And some people use social media as escapism. Like, you go to social media to start talking about happier things and
Yeah.
to escape your normal life.
It's kind of like a real testament to real life, like, a lot of times people are going through things that people around them don't know, you know? So it's just like, you just really never know what someone is going through or has been through,
Yeah,
and it's just like, again, like, she didn't owe you guys anything, and I don't know the situation, but I'm just gonna assume that she forgave him and that they worked through it and all this stuff, so, like,
yeah.
I feel like it would just be really hard for both of them to, like, bring it back up, and I don't think that they owe us any video or anything. I don't know if they have posted a video explaining it. I don't think they owe us anything.
I don't know. I
Only
don't
thing
think she has posted.
the weirdest part was him smiling in the mugshot. That, like, made, like, my skin crawl.
Yeah, that was scary.
Yeah, but it really just shows you, like, you just really never know what people are going through, whether it's social media or real life. Um,
Yeah.
but I also think because like, didn't somebody, like I could be wrong, but I think some, like, random person found it and then, like, was posting because I remember I saw a video being like
That's how it is usually, yeah.
and it's like, "You guys are weird. You guys are" that's such a thing to post on social media about someone's life, unless, like, you know her and she's actually going through it and you're like, "Someone I know is going through this, I need help," or something, but to post like
Yeah.
that, like, again, like, having to relive that in such a, like, public way, it sucks, you know, it's really hard for people, and it's just like, it's up, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but I also feel like that's a lot of people go into their argument is I don't owe you anything and it is messed up, but the reality is that people don't care. People don't care about you. They don't know you personally, so they're going to do whatever they want. But put your if it, but there are people who are empaths just like you and me who clearly see this is very wrong
Yeah,
and it's incredibly traumatizing to be in this situation. But obviously a lot of people on social media don't see it like that. They see it as like it's a show for them. Like it's so
it's
crazy to
something
me.
to talk about, which I mean,
Yeah,
this is what we're doing, we're talking about it, but we're also being very empathetic about it.
acknowledging
Yeah,
the fact that she's yeah, like, that was crazy. But yeah,
just to
best
stay
wishes
on
to
this
you.
quick topic, the next thing I want to talk about, and then we can get onto your stuff just because 'cause we're on the topic. Speaking of, like, abusive partners, Billy Ray Cyrus was caught, like do you know Billy Ray Cyrus? Miley Cyrus's
Yeah,
dad? Yeah.
yeah.
He was caught belittling his wife, Fire Rose, which is his new wife, in an explicit, like and like, slamming his daughter, like, Miley, and, like, calling her the devil and stuff, and I heard the audio. He sounded really scary. Like, his I can't even do how he did his voice. I don't even know. It sounded really scary. It sounded like he was, like, drunk, high, and, like, I don't know, it just sounded scary. Like, I would hate to have been Rose in that situation. And he was, like, cussing her out, calling her out of name, being really, really dominant. And he was saying stuff like, "You know better than that, you an idiot. You if you would have just shut up." And it was, like, a long thing. That was just a few things that I took out of it. And, like, a lot of people are coming out saying that he's always been this, like, douchey, horrible person, and if you don't
Yeah,
notice, a lot of his, like, kids don't really talk to him and stuff,
yeah, like
but
Noah.
yeah, and Miley,
Yeah,
um,
in the divorce, didn't they end up siding with, wait, in the divorce, I think if I haven't gotten it wrong, I think at first Miley was with her dad, right?
I honestly
Sided
don't
with the
know.
dad.
I
But
really, really don't know.
something either way, but Noah never I don't think Noah ever liked, her dad or no, sorry, I'm wrong. Noah was in the middle and Miley sided with her mom, and then eventually this stuff came out that he was a horrible person, and so now they're both siding with their mom,
No,
but it is terrible.
Noah's not siding with her mom because n her mom's new husband apparently,
Oh,
allegedly,
okay, okay.
was, like, talking to Noah first, which is really weird because Noah's
Oh, yeah, that was the
really
tea,
young.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the stuff that
Like,
he was
he's,
saying,
like, 40, 50, and she's, like,
yeah, he was in
25,
Prison
26.
Break. I think that's really weird that he
Mhm.
was talking to her and then now he's
Yeah,
married to her mom. I digress, I don't know,
very
Hollywood
strange.
is weird.
That's
Holly
the
weird.
reason that's the reason
Yeah,
why a lot of those like, the children and I respect Noah for keeping her word and not talking
yeah,
not caring about what her mom does, but I feel like Miley has a very close relationship with her mom, but I feel like Noah just decided to cut ties with a lot of them just because of
yeah. There was also a clip of, like, Noah, like, talking shit about Miley. I don't know, it's weird, like, I don't know, I feel bad for their whole family, but I think it's just really, like first of all, I don't know how this audio got out of Billy Ray doing this, but I'm telling you, I have the video saved. He sounds terrifying. Like, I was
I
just
can
like,
I can
"There's
insert it
no
into the
way."
video once I'm editing, so send it to
I'll
me.
send it to you now before I forget. He sounded insanely
Let
scary,
me
like, I'm
listen
not
to
even
it.
kidding. Right now?
Mhm.
It's 9:15, you idiot.
It's not
I
9:15.
needed to leave 2 hours ago.
No, you didn't. You can still leave and get there.
Get
And
the out of here. I'm
please.
not going to, I'm not in no place to go do a show.
I wasn't.
I had to go when I was ready to go. If you would have just shut the up,
screaming at
if
me.
you would have just left it the
Sorry,
alone.
I should.
Do you hear
Um
his voice? Like, it
Yeah, it
sounds like
sounds like he's been screaming a
yes.
long time. Yeah, that is scary.
It's very
Yeah,
raspy, very,
perfect.
like, I don't know, I just listening to it, I'm imagining his face, like, just terrifying.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I feel so bad. Um, obviously, it's not really our job. This podcast that we do, it's for fun, but the social media is a lot of people's job, and it's really scary to be in the public eye like this. And I've said time and time again when me and Nadine discuss this stuff, there you have to learn um to I don't know. Because when you're so big in the public eye, I don't know what you can possibly hide because it's going to be found out eventually because people have no respect for your privacy. And so saying that, I do feel very bad. And so yeah, sorry guys, there was a technical difficulty, but we're back. And so I was saying, being in the public eye is just so um sometimes dehumanizing. Everything you say, everything you do, it's out there, regardless of what people want to keep private, regardless of their family drama. If they want to keep it private, it is never gonna be private, just solely because they are popular people. And talking about that, I don't know if you know, this isn't very social media drama because this person is a billion-dollar person, like worth billion dollars. But I wanted to tell you. So, a lot of times I find it, speaking of social media and how it ruins a lot of people's lives, I find it incredibly sad that on social media, projected to younger women, there's this persona that if you marry rich, you're going to be happy for the rest of your life. You better marry somebody who provides for you. Like, to young women, I think it's such a terrible mindset to have. And I think that since we are very young and we did start this podcast very very young in our early to like mid 20s, I think it's safe to say that women should always pursue what they want. Don't let other people tell you what to do in your life. And stating this is the reason why I'm saying this is a very, very dear, endearing topic to my heart because a lot of the women in my culture, a lot of the women that have been around me, have consistently given up their dreams for men. And while I think it's fine for a lot of people, it turns out very well. I don't think I don't think it's worth it. You live one life. But yeah, so last night I was scrolling on TikTok and I wasn't familiar with this couple, but she popped up on my For You page a couple times. So there's this lady named Ballerina Farms, okay? The first time I ever heard of her was her oven. And you might be now wondering, what the hell? An oven? So in her background of her videos, she cooks a lot of her food from scratch, just like Nora Smith. But in the background of her videos, there is like a very pretty green um, oven. It's like a Dutch oven. This oven costs like $50,000, 30 to 50,000. So people started wondering, what does she do? Her husband's the soon to be the owner of JetBlue. His dad is JetBlue's founder. So their family name is Neilman. The guy's name is Daniel Neilman. I think Neilman. I don't know how to say it. I'm so sorry. Daniel Neilman and Hannah Neilman. So she's queened and given the trophy of the tradwives. I'm sure everybody's familiar, but tradwives is a category of women who dedicate their lives to not fitting the stereotypical modern day um, meaning of a woman, like a woman, whatever. Like they just want to be a woman, a stay at home mom that cooks, that does the basic quote unquote, not my opinion, the basic woman chores that was done back in the day. So she was queen, this trad wife, like this honor, whatever. People gave her this title. And so one of her videos that became very popular was her birthday video. So in this birthday video, she she has a box and her husband is behind the camera, Daniel, and she's saying, "Oh, are these tickets to Greece?" Because she really wanted tickets to Greece, and this man can afford tickets to Greece.
Before you say it, I don't tell me the box was the bills that he pays.
No,
Okay, because I've seen a video like that and I was like, there's no way. But
oh,
yeah,
that's
continue.
terrible. That's Oh, okay. That takes the cake home. But she opens the box. She's so excited. She's like, "That box looks like it can have tickets. Like it's a very good box." Opens the box. That box has an apron that holds eggs. That's what he got her for her birthday. And she doesn't even get to say the chance to thank you. It's to say thank you when he cuts her off and talks over her. So people are like automatically very big red flag.
I would
Anyways,
rather the bills. What
yeah, but the thing is that um so whatever, this whole thing happens and people move on from it. Just yesterday, a article is posted by the Times. Okay? I had to read this article myself because
I'm
I
looking
feel
at it now.
dearly. I feel dearly for women who fall into this trap, okay? I feel so sad. Like I could cry about this because a lot of women lose their hopes and their dreams for something stupid. I don't understand. Like I don't get it. And sometimes I've been a victim of that. Sometimes I lose my train of where I want to go in life because love, I don't know.
They have 8
And
kids?
yes, 8 kids. She has 8
How
kids.
old is she?
34. She had her It's normal. She had her first kid at 22. Pretty okay age to have a child, but 8 kids after one another is crazy. But anyways, let me explain to
8 kids in 12 years is definitely
you.
old school Middle East. That's what they used to do back in the day. That's what
Oh,
they
well,
would have done
she's a
to us
Mormon. She is a
back in the
Mormon.
day.
So it does make
She
she comes from Utah, I think, if I'm not wrong. So this girl, her name is Hannah, and the article starts off very, very poetic. Like a writer did a very beautiful job. I don't know who the writer is. Give me a second. I apologize. So it's written Megan Agnew wrote the article. Beautiful. She wrote it so perfect. I took 10 minutes to read it. Very easy to read. I think everybody, I will link it in the comments. It's such a beautifully written article. So she comes into the to the farm. They live on a 328-acre farmland. Humongous, Nadine. Humongous. They own bil- a bunch of businesses like the egg business, milk business, cheese. Like they do all of this. They're very rich people, okay? And so the girl starts asking Hannah, the wife, questions like, "Oh, what do you think about the term people coined for you, the coined term trad wife that people made you the queen of?" And she's like, "Oh, personally, I don't." And then she gets cut off by her husband. And he goes, "It's like it's whatever, it's what people want to think. We just do what we like to do." And she's like, "Yeah, we just do what we love to do." Anyways, so
No offense. He's really ugly. Continue.
the writer keeps talking, and so the writer wants to ask Hannah questions, and she's like asking her about her younger ages. So Hannah comes from a pretty normal family. She worked her way in college. She was on her way to she went to Juilliard, the school, the Juilliard school. I don't know if that's a thing.
It is a
Um,
thing. Yes, it's a big
um,
deal, yeah.
yeah. So for being like a ballerina, she wanted to be a
Yeah.
ballerina. So, in between her ballerina, she couldn't afford, so she was on a scholarship. So clearly, we can assume she didn't come from a very, very privileged background like Daniel did. But she worked in between with pageants, like as a pageant to afford her time at Juilliard. Anyways, she was on the path to becoming a freaking ballerina. So one day she's out and about in college, and Daniel spots her, and he persists. Nadine, the anger I feel as a woman, he persisted her for 6 months. Consistently, she said, "No, I don't want to date
Pursued
right
her.
now." Oh, sorry. Pursued her. Thank you for correcting me. Pursued her for 6 months. She said no continuously. Then he used his
Red
money.
fucking
Wait,
flag.
the next part will have you seeing red. She was on a flight to go from her hometown to New York to attend college, obviously. And I think she was on one of the flights that his dad owned. So he used his connection to sit next to her.
Let me tell you guys
And
something. This
that's
is
when she
called
started
being
dating.
a stalker. This is called being a stalker. That's insane to me.
Okay. So she was seat 6A, and he was 6B, I believe.
First of all, use your connections to put me in first class. How about you do that? That's really weird. That's a stalker.
Regardless, yeah, that's crazy
You're a little
behavior.
how did he know that she was gonna be on that flight?
Maybe they were communicating. She
No,
said,
he knew because he saw it on he was searching for her name every day in the flight list.
it's so terrifying. Okay, anyways. And so he wanted so they start dating, and this man says, "We need to get married." She's 22. She no, she's 21. "We need to get married." And the next year they proceed to get engaged. 6 months later, married. 6 months, have another kid. All while she's in the process of becoming a ballerina. She wants to be a ballerina, but obviously now she has kids. And in the article she said, "Obviously I couldn't be a ballerina anymore and chase my dreams because I had other ambitions and other goals to attend to." Nadine, when I tell you I almost cried because this is so sad. A lot of people don't realize you lose your whole life. Don't give it up for a boy. My mom told me this from a young age. She said, "No matter what you do, no matter where you end up, do not follow other people's dreams. You always think for yourself." Like, I know this is common sense, but I don't think it's common sense enough. And I know that I'm being very, very black or white, and a lot of stuff like this happens, like manipulation, where this guy put himself, used his privilege to put himself next to her, used this opportunity to build, quote unquote, a connection that she never wanted, that she could have had a different life in a different universe. But, anyways, the article keeps going, and Megan, the writer, asked Hannah a question, and her husband would answer for her. Like in one of the examples, she was asking about like I don't know, like, what do you guys do on a day to day? And he goes, yeah, well, blah, 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 we do this. And Hannah goes, yeah, we do that. And then
Were they
she
interviewing
wants,
him or her? I'm
that's what
confused.
I'm saying. Like, they're all there. They all get one-on-one time. But apparently it's not apparent because he doesn't let Hannah talk. And so at one point she's on a car, like a little cart to go around their acres of farm, to look around everything. And Megan goes, I need to go back to interview Hannah. And he goes, yeah, but 1 minute, I need to show you this. And so Megan's getting annoyed because she's like, I'm here to interview Hannah, who's famous on social media and want to know about her life. So finally she gets a little bit of time. But when she sits down to interview Hannah, all her 8 kids start blabbering. Her husband's asking, her husband's talking. And so the article ends with, 1 second, let me find it. The article ends with, and why, I ask before I leave, did she do those pageants in between babies? She was pregnant between her pageants, but she still wanted to pursue her pageantry, like,
Yeah.
dreams. Well, my sister called me, and that's what Hannah said. She said, well, my sister called me and said, there is a Miss Utah. Let's do it together. Just to, she gestures towards the kids, and around her, break things up, meaning like she is like suffocating. And in one point in
Hmm.
this article, it says that Hannah gets so tired. She cooks three meals a day. She cleans the house. These people are originating. They have billions of dollars. They can afford a private chef. They can afford a nanny. They can afford a babysitter. She does the housework. She gets so depressed at times that she can't leave her bed for weeks. That's what it says. And so then this is the saddest part, Nadine. This is how the article ends. And the sequin gowns, question mark. Well, they used to be in her bedroom cupboard, but with all her stuff and Daniel's and Henry's and Charles and George's and Francis's and Louis and Martha and Mabel's and Flora's, the cupboard got so full there was no more room. So Daniel put
Oh,
them in the basement.
man, Daniel.
It's so sad.
What
I've
the
never
fuck?
read something sadder. This writer should get like an award for this because it was written in a way where I started realizing like a lot of women are promised. Nadine, he promised her a different lifestyle. He started dating her. Nobody goes into dating thinking they have to get married a year later. But that's how manipulation works. That's how people want to snatch up your life. She had goals, she had dreams of her own. She wanted to become a, she had
Yeah.
ambitions. She had stuff for herself. She had a way to think for herself. And sometimes it makes me really sad. Like, she's very big on social media.
This is like my very I don't know if it's my unpopular opinion, if it's just like my unpopular opinion, but this is why I always say I would not want to marry a man who comes from wealth and like generational wealth and all that stuff because this is how they are. I would rather be with somebody who like worked their way to that rather than somebody that was born into that because this is how they are. Like it really is just disgusting and unfortunately it is the reality for some cultures and it does make me feel bad for a lot of women that have to go through this because I'm sure there are a lot of women. I've seen this a lot in my like culture within like my family where like the husband will promise them so much and at the end of
Hmm.
the day she is a housewife who cooks and cleans and births children, takes care of the children, has to ask for money, has to ask permission for stuff, has an
Yeah.
allowance. And it's just like it's insane. I remember one time I was showing somebody, I was like, "Oh, this would look really cute on you. You should get it." And she said, "Oh, I have to wait to ask my until my husband gives me my allowance." I was like, "Huh?" I was so shocked and dumbfounded. And I don't know if it's because like I've never had to see that with my mom and dad. Like they had such a like equal partnership. Like she never had to ask permission. Like they owned a business together, so, like, the money was both of theirs, she never had to ask, she will just leave, like, she'll be like, "I'm going to my sister's for the weekend," and leave. So, I was just always like when I would hear this, I'd be like, "Oh, do you guys wanna come here? Oh, I have to ask my husband. Oh, my husband said no. Oh, my husband, he's gonna get mad if I go," and I'm like,
But the
"This
cycle is crazy.
this
You
is
can't
like
break it.
you really can't." It's really sad. And then, like, it's worse when, like, you feel like you're just so stuck because having 8 kids and then, like, basically I know she has a thought of, like, if I leave with nothing. I
Yeah.
leave with nothing. I leave with 8 kids and no way to support them. I'm probably not even gonna get the 8 kids because he has the money and I have all my dreams crushed. And it's like, it's so sad because that's what a lot of men from wealth do. You don't have to work, you don't need an education, you don't know anything. I know I have a friend who her husband made her drop out of high school when she was a junior. And he came from money, he came from wealth, and she 1 year in was just like, "I wanna leave him, but we have a kid together and I have nothing." Like, she'll be like, "He tells me you'll be nothing without me, your parents won't want you, you have no education, you have no future, you have no nothing." And I'm just like and I hated being this person, but I'm just like, "You can leave," and I was like, I was it pissed me off so much because I was like, "I told you, do not drop out of high school. Do not" like, dropping out of high school is that's it's a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Do not marry him yet, like, what is your career gonna be when oh, he has money, he's rich, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine." And now they have, like, kids together, and she still feels so, like, stuck in it, and she's
It's
so
like
depressed.
suffocating. It's
Yeah,
suffocating.
and it's
Yeah.
like he said this stuff to her, he'll be like,
Yeah.
"You would be nothing without me. You
Yeah.
have no career, you have no education, you have
Oh,
no future, I take care of you. You live in my house. You spend
that's
my
so
money."
terrifying. Nadine, um, I think that obviously a lot of the stuff that we said is now our opinion. I have to justify for legal reasons just because I don't want to be sued by this man. But it is my opinion, and I'm gonna say he snatched her whole dream, her whole life.
He took
Like
her youth, like, he took her,
and
like,
yes,
20s.
people
Yeah.
said I went after this article came on my For You page at, like, 8 p.m., and I scrolled down and her video came up, and the comments were like, "Girl, you should be at the club." And somebody in the comments caught like, what somebody said in the comments caught my attention. Somebody said, "When you marry rich, you pay with your life."
Yep. You
And
marry rich, you feel
oh
poor mentally.
oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And my mom, seeing what she had seen her whole life, every time I joke and I'm like, "It's fine. My boyfriend will do this. It's fine." And she's like, "No. You have to be independent. You cannot depend on anyone else. Just you need to have your own bank account. You need to have your own money. You need to have." And she's not saying that she doesn't say that because she's like, don't love him. She's saying it because
It's
she
the
wants.
reality of it.
Yeah, yeah. She's
You
like,
don't
you
want your
don't
whole
know.
life to be connected to this person.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like, cause it's just like, you really, really, really never know what's gonna happen, and let's just say you live a beautiful life together, you get married, like, he takes care of everything, God forbid he passes away, then what?
yeah,
I used to tell my sister this all the time. I used to be like, "You need to figure out your future, your career, your life, because God forbid your husband passes away, you guys have 3 kids." Now they have a 4th one on the way, and luckily now she's working and stuff, but I'm just like, "God forbid anything's gonna happen. You don't know how to do anything. You don't know how to do anything. You don't like."
yeah,
She didn't go to college. She dropped out of college because of him, and, like, she was a housewife, you know, and I'm just like, you wouldn't know how to take care of yourself, and it's so weird because, like, when my dad passed away, like, my mom, luckily, they were running the business together, so she knew, like, how to, like, be okay, but,
yeah.
like, I
Function,
saw
yeah,
her have to grind. She worked from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, but it's, like, it's so weird to me how, like, me seeing that put something in me, whereas, like, my sister, she didn't really, like, put a drive in her, like,
yeah,
it's just really insane because it's like you just never know what's gonna happen, and you wanna make sure that you have something to fall back on, and that something is yourself.
yeah. And the story, the what we're not gonna spread is, oh, they'll marry for money. You do what you want in your life, but make sure you make that choice and it's your choice. Don't let people tell you, and
Life is too short.
uh, don't let people tell you what they can do. If they show you they can do it, perfect. Don't let people tell you what they can do. Just like this. You cannot. live your life for someone else. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So many people have become victims. And at times I was a victim of my own mentality where I was like, I'm going to be fine if I do this. But I need to have my own opinions. I need to have my own values. I need to be my own person, independent from somebody else. And it's what a lot of people struggle and to understand. And I think that the age of social media, the age of the sprinkle lady, where she is like, marry rich, whatever he provides, he better provide for you. But no, that's not
You
you need to compromise
have
sometimes,
someone
but
who will
not.
provide for you, but you're able to provide for yourself if he's not there.
Yeah,
He
exactly,
is an addition to your
exactly.
life. He is not a want. He is not a need, he is a want. You want a
Yeah,
man, you don't need a man, he is an addition. You know that if he left you, you're able to take care of the bills, the
yeah,
groceries, entertainment, you're able to do it. But he does it
yeah,
because he can and he loves you and he wants to. But
yeah.
if he can't do it, you can do it. Always
One of
go
my
in with that.
no, one of my friends said, she's been saying this a lot. She said, "Did you watch the new Madeline? You know Madeline? Madeline, I don't know how to say her name. Madeline and Central C, that girl that was dating Central C. She posted a podcast episode where she said, quote unquote, a man can love you and hate you at the same time.
Facts. No, that's
And
such facts.
it's so true, and you will see it. A man could provide for you, but they could also rub it in your face. And you never want to be a victim of somebody who who uses his power to control you, to manipulate you just because he has money,
Yeah.
or he's the sole provider of the house and you can't do anything about it. You want to be
Yeah.
able to say, "Oh, whatever. I have my own money in my bank account. Whatever. I can do this by myself. I have education. I can just leave right now if I wanted to." But
Yep.
you don't, because you love him. But yeah,
This was a very deep
sorry.
episode. Um, let's
Okay,
end it here.
do you have something lighter to end the episode?
I'm gonna end it on a lighter note. If you guys
Okay.
didn't know, Chunks, if you guys might know him from Foot Asylum, from
No
Philly and
way!
Chunks, he
You
is
know the
officially
news?
married. I
Boy,
love Chunks. I love Philly. I love Chunks and Philly. He's officially married, so congratulations to Chunks. Woo woo. Woo
I
woo.
didn't even know, Nadine. The way that that TikTok popped up, and I'm like, "Oh, somebody got married," and Chunks was at the wedding. Weird. And then people are like, "Congratulations, Chunks," and I'm like, "Huh?" But his wife is very pretty. I hate that people leak that his wife
Yeah, I
is
didn't want to
that
bring
person
her
because
up,
he
so I was just
wanted.
like, that's his privacy. But she is very
Yeah,
pretty. But
she's
congrats,
she's
Chunks.
beautiful. Yeah, congrats to both of them. I hope they live a happy life. I didn't even know he was in a relationship. I didn't even know he was getting married. Didn't even know
I
anything,
love
honestly.
Chunks. Hopefully me and Philly are next. I have such a crush on Philly.
Philly?
Philly, I have a
Wait,
little crush on him.
that
He's so
that little
funny
funny guy?
with the long head. I
You
love him
are
so much.
so weird. You are so weird.
25, Nadine and Philly getting married. You're all invited.
That's hilarious. No, that's hilarious. Maybe that's why he was on a weight loss journey.
Maybe. I'm really happy for him. I love that. I'm so excited. Um,
He actually got married for love. She actually got married for love. Hopefully,
and
hopefully, fingers crossed.
here's to them having a beautiful, happy, healthy marriage.
Yeah. And on that note, guys, this episode's last words are: please marry somebody who actually loves you and doesn't hate you deep inside.
Yeah.
And if you see even an ounce of love, please leave. It is not
And
never
if you
too
want to
late.
marry someone for money, marry someone who's about to die.
No. Don't marry for money because you will pay for your life. And if somebody is happy
Unless
enough,
if he's on his deathbed and he has
no,
$1 million, marry him, girl.
somebody said you can marry for love, but you have to marry somebody who has the ethic and the mentality that he wants to provide for you no matter at what stage in his life he is. Because there are stingy people, there are stingy men, but the one that distinguishes other men from that type of men is men who aspire to provide for their for their like family and to make them happy. So make sure you're falling into that category. Please stay safe during these days. Don't let people manipulate you. It's a tough world right now. The dating scene is scary. Thank God I'm not in it. Um don't put evil eye on me, you stupid idiot. I'm telling you right now. Sorry when I
Oh
said that.
my god.
Every time I say, thank God I'm not in it, I'm like, God, God, keep your
Let
eye on
me
me,
tell
please.
you, this is what I
Guys,
saw.
don't ever.
This
I'm
is what
wearing
I
my
saw.
evil
You
eye.
ready? Thank God I'm not in it. Don't put the evil eye on me. It's like you can see you were thinking like, oh my god.
Let me knock on wood.
I'll knock on it for you
Okay.
too.
So yeah, guys, be safe. Choose wisely. Whatever you do in life. We love you guys, and I'm
Love
happy that you
you.
guys joined us for another episode of Besties Night In. Please don't forget to subscribe, and we want to reach a goal of 500 subscribers by the end of this quarter. Are
I was
you?
just trying
Oh,
to
I
see
thought
how
you were frozen. I thought you were frozen for real. I thought you just was. You were so convincing too. You were like this.
that's one of my favorite things to do when I'm on FaceTime with people.
You're really good at it. You're really good at it. Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
My one
welcome.
talent.
So, you're welcome, guys. Nadine just made you laugh. But today's episode was a very deep episode. I'm sorry if we have offended or made you guys upset. Please tell us in the comments for us to reach.
Tell us what your
I'm
thoughts
just
are
kidding. I'm
on
just kidding. I'm
everything. I
just
feel
kidding.
like we had the same general topic this episode, but
Yeah.
tell us your thoughts. We would love to hear your opinions, and um if anything jumps out on us, we will talk about it in our next episode. So if you have something that you want to
Yeah.
comment that is hard hitting, you might hear it next episode.
Yeah. So please leave your comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. I hope to see you guys next week. We love you. Bye.